Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you why your Jonsered 2071 or your Husqvarna 365 chainsaw may be leaking bar oil. This is a question I get asked often. People put their chainsaws away, they go to use it the next time and there's a huge puddle of bar oil underneath it and they're wondering what's causing this. Well, today I'm going to show you a few examples of why this may be happening on your saw. So what I have here today is a Jonsered 2071 turbo chainsaw. So as you can see here, I took the clutch off and everything to show you the oil pump. There's actually two Allen bolts that hold the pump on there. I've already taken them off. And you can see a small tube here that goes over to where the bar and chain are. Now what sometimes causes these saw to leak oil even when you're not using it or shortly after you've used it is this little rubber grommet over here. So what I'm going to do now is take the pump off, take this line out and the grommet and show you what's going on there. Now it's going to be easier to remove the tube here if you push the chain brake forward to engage it. So I'm going to go ahead and remove it. I'm going to start by pulling the tube here out. Just be very gentle. Now I'm going to pull this tube from the pump, pull it under the chain brake band, and now I'm just going to pull the pump out. Now as you can see, this grommet is in pretty bad shape over here. It actually sits inside the pump like this, and it's supposed to make a tight seal so the oil doesn't escape. Sometimes you may have to replace this grommet as well, but in this case it's still good. So it's pretty obvious that this one here needs to be replaced. And I went ahead and ordered a couple so that I have a spare one. There they are. And this is part number 504300026. And as you can see, even though I'm using it on a Jonsered chainsaw, it is a Husqvarna part. So I'm just going to install the new one. And then I'm going to show you something else that could be causing your saw to leak oil as well. Now another thing that can cause oil to leak is the oil line. When you remove the pump, it's right back here. I had removed it previously, so I put it back in to show you guys how it comes out. Sometimes what happens is the rubber gets damaged over here or it gets hard and brittle, and then it doesn't do a proper seal between the pump and the oil tank. So this is how the oil pump sits on that oil line, and then when you screw it down, it puts pressure and makes a tight seal. Although it's mostly this little grommet here that needs to be replaced, while I have everything apart, because these little oil lines don't cost too much, I'm going to replace it as well. For under 10 bucks you can replace the oil line, and for another 3-4 bucks the little grommet. So while you have it all apart, like I said, you might as well do both. Now if you replace both these parts and you still have an oil leak, it could very well be that the entire pump has a problem. But most of the time all I do is replace this little grommet and the oil line and it's good, no more leaks. And another reason why you may see oil coming down from your saw after you've used it is that the bar isn't cleaned properly where the oiler hole is on it. So here are the oiler holes on the bar. There's two, one on each side, so when you flip the bar, there's another one. You want to make sure that these little holes are nice and clean and that there's room for oil to get to the chain. So if your chain isn't getting oil and your bar is dirty, that's usually caused by a lack of maintenance. You should clean this little hole regularly and also the blade inside here where the chain goes onto. And here's the saw the next day here, and you can see that there's no puddle of oil all over the counter. I just moved the saw. You might see the odd drip because sometimes if you rev the saw and you're not cutting into wood, the oil does accumulate on the chain and near where the clutch cover is, so it might drip after. But before I did the repairs on this saw, the oil leak was much more significant. Also, one more tip today before I end off the video is if you're going to use old motor oil in your chainsaw, you could damage the rubber grommets and the oil line itself where it connects to the oil pump, therefore causing an oil leak in the future. So I don't recommend you use old oil in your chainsaw. Also on each chainsaw, the oil pump and oil line configuration will slightly differ, but it's all the same principle anyways. So thanks for watching guys. Hopefully this video gives you an idea what to look for when your chainsaw is leaking bar oil.